Hi guys, it's me again, I'm Dan and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be giving you my best tips and advice on how to be productive with a chronic illness. So first and foremost, I have to go about my morning routine, and to do that, most of that is medications. I have to take 3 different medications on a morning. I wake up first thing and take my lansoprazole. I have to leave a 45-minute gap in between and then take my steroid medication, which is my prednisolone, with my breakfast. I choose to take it with my breakfast just because it's easier and the taste is awful. That is my steroid medication to take down the inflammation in my liver. And then I'm taking an AdCal supplement, which is calcium and vitamin D supplement. Keep those levels up because I think the steroids can impact that a little bit if I don't keep those levels up. But yeah, in terms of managing how I take them, I do find it easy to give myself a time frame on when I'm taking them. So I say roughly around 9 o'clock I take my first one. Sometimes it can be earlier, sometimes it can be later, just depending on motivation levels. Again, that's the whole point of productivity, and it does generally keep me the most productive when I'm giving myself a time to do it. About 9 o'clock-ish is when I take that first one. And then once I've left that 45 minutes, I know, right, okay, now I've given myself enough time to be ready. What I find is key is using that 45 minutes to give myself some time to get motivated and get ready to just get up and go straight away. So yeah, once I've done that, I'm immediately ready for my breakfast, and I can come down, make my breakfast and take the other tablets. The supplement comes after my breakfast, by the way. I don't also take that with my breakfast because that one's really cool. They have really nice flavourings. I had a tutti fruity one and now I've got lemon ones, which are really cool. They're just chewable tablets, which are supplements. So in terms of those medications, that's pretty good. I'll then have to take another supplement of the AdCal on the afternoon. That one's probably the hardest to remember. So because I'm obviously out doing things during the day, it can be a bit of a tough one. I do manage to get it done most of the time. That one's the hardest for sure. And when I do the azathioprine medication, which I have on an evening, I put that on the evening because there can be side effects of nausea. So I choose to just take that then so that I can just sleep through any side effects and things that may happen. But they shouldn't be happening now, really, to be honest. I've been taking it for a while and they don't really happen. But in terms of keeping that routine regular, I think really the biggest thing for me is just, I guess, adding to like elements of self-care that I'm doing, how necessary it is and how much I look forward to the benefits of the medications, things like that. Just keeping positive mind frames on taking them, and then it makes it easier to want to take them. And then that combined with the time frame and then just making sure I have routines for taking medications so that I remember, that sort of all helps me with that and the medication side of things. There are a number of other things related to keeping motivated. So another thing that can be quite difficult is just general household activities, especially on a bad day with more fatigue. Something which sort of motivates me, especially with something like, for example, washing up in the sink, using these wonderful things, Dishmatics. I'm sure many of you use them. I know many people also around me don't use them, and the difference it makes in motivation levels for me to be able to do this compared to if I was having to fill the sink up, extra washing up liquid on, it would take so much longer to do that than it would to just grab that, clean the plate or whatever it is, and then literally just put it at one side. It literally takes 2 seconds per thing. So it gets done so much quicker, and then it keeps your motivation levels higher, and then it just feels like you can get everything done a lot quicker. But in general, there's so many household gadgets and things that you can get now which make everything so much easier and still get the things done to a very good standard as well. So yeah, for sure. There's definitely things like household gadgets which you should look into. Would be my biggest tip for household chores and keeping motivated with them. Okay, so I feel like now's a good time to point out that I have only been diagnosed with my condition for about 4.5 months. So I am definitely still learning a lot of things. It's perfectly normal to be still learning for however long. You might have it for years and years and you still be learning. Just the way it is, it's so overwhelming and it's a lot to actually take in. So my biggest tip for this whole video is don't be so hard on yourself if you can't get motivated. This is just ways to help yourself take that pressure off and not necessarily have the worries of being demotivated. If it is something that overwhelms you to feel, it is perfectly fine to not be motivated on any given day, because I'm filming this on a day where tiredness is a lot right now. The fatigue is overwhelming. But yeah, my biggest tip for this is just be compassionate to yourself and feel whatever you feel. But I just want to make this video to give people some advice and tips about how they can make things easier for themselves. And it may not work for everyone, but just some ideas. Okay, so the next order of business for me is to go to the gym. The first thing I would say about going to the gym is that 90% of my motivation problems come from before I even leave the house. Yeah, that is basically down to the fact that I will either take longer to get ready, I will either take longer to get my stuff sorted, or I will take longer to get up and get sorted to go out of the house. And all those things are kind of just all very similar and they kind of blend into one. But yeah, it's those things which in general cause the biggest problems. So what I end up doing, obviously as a YouTuber myself, and I know there might be some other YouTubers out there, I will either document and film what I'm doing because then it makes it more accessible and helps me do it for not just myself, but for anyone else who may be struggling and wants to get some advice, kind of like this video. Or if that's not something which is accessible for you, then what else I would do is I would try to give myself a plan of what I could kind of actually get done in that time. Yeah, that generally helps. If I'm scheduling out my day a little bit more, or at least parts of my day, then it can give me more motivation to get up and do it because, okay, now I've got to tick these off. And that's just a mental thing for me where I'm like, okay, if I have things to tick off, then I will do them. If I don't have things to tick off, then I'll be less motivated to do them. So things like that, planning and organising your actual day can be a big help for a lot of people. Whatever is best for you, sort of either of those things really are the biggest ones I would say that can be the biggest help. But of course, if you find your own ways, brilliant. So I've just put my coat on, but yeah, I just had one more thing come to mind. The other thing is that, again, with getting ready to go out to the gym, or just to go out and do anything, to be honest, is to focus on routine and keeping that regular so that you're doing sort of the similar sorts of things every time that you do it, so that you can keep that in a regular pace and that you don't drop off and that there's nothing that you just don't do because you're so used to it and it is just sort of your normality. Having that routine is essential for your motivation levels. It really is helpful, and hopefully that's something that will be helpful for all of you as well. Okay, so now I've left the house, I would say that my next biggest tip for motivation is actually just getting stuff done. Once you complete small goals in your day, I would say that just getting those things done. For example, I've just left the house there. I feel now a lot more motivated to actually go to the gym and get it done because of the fact that I've left the house and actually completed a small goal, got ready, left the house, you know? So now 90% of the gym related motivation problems are out of the way. Before leaving the house, there was 5% to do with organising stuff into my locker, which is more to do with its intricacies, and the other 5% is the motivation to get through the exercise itself. So today I did my usual gym routine, this time focusing on core and legs in particular, but the next tip I have for exercising with a chronic illness, which I didn't realise initially, was that I'd say it's important not to do less, but to pick less focus areas for each session to preserve energy so that you can push those areas more and have a better overall energy for the day, and then you can keep productivity to a maximum. But also just doing a plank in my core workout helps out a lot because I did that, I got to a whole minute. So yeah, doing exercises which are that bit more intense can just be that driving motivational factor to get you through your day and get you doing other activities for yourself. Okay, so now I've done that, I'm going to head home and give you a few more tips based on sort of the household stuff. The next tip I want to add is that when you have a chronic illness, it can be extremely debilitating when you have that tough level of fatigue. So that can impact the smallest of tasks, including having a shower. One thing that I do to help me get motivated to have a shower is to create a space which is comfortable and which can make me want to have a shower more. So for example, I'll play songs while I'm in the shower so that I can have a space to sing. I know for me, sometimes I like to have a space where it almost feels like a bubble away from everything that I'm struggling with. With the music especially, that's a big part of it, but just in general, just having a room where I can go to and just take a breather. So yeah, just making that space, whatever it may be for you, whether it's that you're not having a shower and you're having a bath and instead you want to watch a TV show in there. Obviously you can't do that with a shower, but you know, whatever it may be, there's lots of ways to go about that. But the big tip here is to make a space and create a space where you want to go and do that, and then it makes you more motivated to go and do it. So that's a big one for me, and I'm about to go and do that now. But yeah, just thought I'd mention that because it came into my head before I was about to do it. Okay, and I've had my shower. That was really good. Having the music there is always fun, but I started playing Christmas music today for the first time in the showers. I mean, I've obviously played Christmas songs before now. The first time I've played them during the time I've had a shower, so yeah. The only other big piece of advice I would give now is that at this point in the day, you're probably going to be sort of relaxing a little bit more and not really needing to have as much motivation. So what I do is, if I'm incorporating a little bit of self-care, or I know I keep banging on about self-care, if you're going to incorporate a little bit of self-care, then a good thing to do is sort of implement strategies to go stuff, long-term motivation. So planning out what you're going to do tomorrow, getting your headspace ready for tomorrow, and then when you wake up, you'll be in a perfect headspace to be motivated. So that's what I'd say for the biggest tip for when you go sort of winding down, just keeping that motivation alive sort of in your mind, keeping your mind also very relaxed and doing it in a caring way for yourself. Other than that though, I don't really have much to add. So that's sort of my biggest tips throughout my day, where I would try to keep myself motivated, and it has worked. I've managed to get everything I wanted to do done today, so that's pretty good. Yeah, other than that, that's gonna be it. So I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment down below, let me know what your thoughts were in the video, and please subscribe and click the bell to receive a notification whenever I upload. But as I said, that's gonna be it. So that's leave a like, drop a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.